Sorcerers! Josh here, back from Sorcery Con. Well, I was able to terrorize some of you with my voice, and I was glad I was able to do so. I want to thank all of you who took the time to come up and introduce yourself. I hope to see you at some of the big events in the future, and hopefully I'll remember your name. And if I don't, I'm going to apologize in advance now, because I'm not the best with names. But I am trying to remember everyone, especially those who took the time, so we'll see what happens. But to start off, I want to congratulate Jesse, who flew all the way over from Belgium to take on 260 other players, 261 in the main event, came out, made the top 64 cut, in single elimination, again, made the top, got into the top 8, single elimination again, and won Sorcery Con and the big prize. So congratulations to you, Jesse. Looking forward to seeing you in the future, and hopefully I'll be able to help out at some of the other events that you're having over there. Also, I want to congratulate Alexis for winning the Constructed Championship, which had 86 players. And best of all, you used Battle Mage. That is fantastic. I love it that a Battle Mage took the Constructed Tournament, or the Constructed Championship at Sorcery Con. That was amazing. In addition, we got a whole lot of news, learned a whole lot of things. I'm not going to cover all those because you can go check out the live stream, the recording of the live stream, to see all the news that was provided at Sorcery Con, and a few other content providers have already made some content related to those things. So I'm not going to do a full run through, but just touch on a few. First, the one that I think is most important, they announced that Ira is back on the team, and he's going to be handling the rules. For me, as someone that wants to see competitive events, not necessarily hyper-competitive events, but competitive events, having someone like Ira become the official, they gave him a title, I can't remember it, the Archivist, I think, or the Codex Keeper, or something like that. Whatever that was, his title, having someone on the team permanently to make all the necessary rulings, the facts, and all those things, basically what Ira has really been doing with the TTS League, having someone on staff to do that is a very good sign for the future of organized sorcery events, which I believe are fundamental to ensuring the long-term survival of sorcery. So I was very glad to hear that announcement. I think that it's probably the most important thing that we actually heard at Sorcery Con, even though we got all this other wonderful stuff. Yes, we heard about the Dragon Lord set. It's only going to be 13 cards. Got some concerns about that. I may come back to that in the future. For right now, 13 cards in the Dragon Lord set. Very glad to see Mr. Beard coming on, making the art. Fantastic. The size of the set has me a little bit worried, especially depending upon what we get until we get the next big set. Also, learned about all those new dust rewards, the King Arthur, the alternate art Ian Miller Camelot, the alternate art Vasily Briar Patch. There was an alternate art Common Cottagers that Mr. Modesti did. So all those great things that we saw, very cool, very nice. Also, we're going to get that Druid foil, that elusive Druid foil that's going to come out through the Dust Store. So great to hear about that. But in terms of Sorcery Con itself, I was running around trying to judge a lot of games for a whole lot of you. I hope overall I did a good job. I hope that I didn't make any wrong calls. I do know of one I made, and I did go and talk to the individuals of the game afterwards to clarify. Fortunately, it did not affect the outcome. Fantastic. I hate it when I make a wrong call. But in a game this complex, it does tend to happen. So I'm going to do my very best to avoid that in the future. But as far as I know, that was the only wrong call I made. And given the number of calls I made, I'm pretty happy with where that kind of came out. One out of a multiple day series of tournaments, I'm pretty content. So, Also, knowing that Ira's coming on, I'm hopeful that there's going to be some type of a judge program or something somewhat official. I'm looking forward to joining that. Hopefully, we can get a solid core of judges that can deal and help at these large events. I have to say, there were only 7 of us. There probably should have been more just given the size of the event. But again, it just comes back to, one, a whole lot of people want to play. The very best players, they're there to play. They want to play. They don't necessarily want to judge. And I certainly understand that. The good news is, I think I'm pretty good with rules, but I'm actually terrible at playing the game because I make all the wrong decisions at the wrong time. So for me, judging is where I feel I fit the best role. I'm hopeful that more people like that come along and we end up with a whole lot more folks who can judge these large events and do so accurately, and people can feel confident that they're getting the correct rulings. That was my biggest concern or takeaway, I guess, from SorceryCon was our community. It's grown and we need more judges. So getting Ira into the mix to handle all the rules, and seems like maybe that could lead to some type of a judge program. I think that is going to be a fantastic thing for them to do. Now, could be wrong about that, but I'm hoping that is where it's heading. But overall, I had a great time. I met as many of the artists as I could, although I was pretty busy, so I didn't get a lot of opportunity. I know there were several of you who wanted to interview me or wanted to do trades and stuff like that, and I did not get to you, and I am sorry. Things just kind of went a little haywire. Those of you who were there, the tournament software, it kind of fell dead on us, unfortunately. I can't say that I didn't expect that. It has always had a lot of trouble with top cuts. The software tends to have that issue. But I'm very hopeful that Cardio is going to get that worked out. And maybe the next time we have one of these really big events, it will actually be able to create the top cut and run it. That's what I would like to see. That is the one big improvement. And that's not on SorceryCon. That's on Cardio to get this right, to get the program so that it can run and operate and do these high-level tournaments. Because we had 261 players for a sealed event. Next SorceryCon, I want to see 500 people or 1,000 people in that tournament. And if that's the case, the program's going to have to be even more robust. It's going to have to be able to deal with an exponential number of people. So we really need to see improvements in that software. I hope that this experience, being able to see where it fell through, because there was a Cardio representative on site. I'm sorry I gave you so much crap over the weekend. It was all in good jest, I know software bugs, I get it. But to you, I do apologize a little bit. I was just trying to lighten the mood a little, maybe by giving you too much crap. But anyhow, that was my primary thing. I want that to kind of work out so that we can do this again next time. Other than that, I did grab this little jewel right up here. That is going to be opened. I have not opened it. I don't know what's in there. So that is one of the grab bags that Elvira brought, which does include a painted AP in it. Very excited to find out what I'm going to get. I haven't opened it yet. Can't wait. Also, you can see some of the new things that are on the shelf that came from SorceryCon. The badges were amazing for those of you that were not able to come. These badges are metal, an actual metal badge. My one, as cool as these are, and they are awesome, my one problem with them was that it doesn't have anyone's name on it. So we relied on some sticker name tags to stick that on. A lot of folks did not do that. For me, especially as a judge, the name recognition would have helped a lot if everyone had had some type of badge with the name on it. It just helps in terms of, even though we tried to do all the reporting through the software, once the software fell through, it would have been nice to have kind of a name there. But this was cool, so sacrifices had to be made. We can accept that. SorceryCon was fantastic. If you didn't make it this year, I highly recommend whenever it's announced and wherever it's announced for. It may not be Vegas. They may change the venue. We don't know. It seems like in all the feedback that has come through already on the Discord, everyone had a great time. There were some critiques, of course. There's always going to be critiques, things that can be done better. That's fine. But I encourage you to try to start saving now so that you can come to SorceryCon 2025. Or if that's not on the menu, get ready for Gen Con. Or maybe we'll have some other big event. The Courtesan Cup, the Spring Social, those things are still in the works. Hopefully they pan out. We have the next one of those. That's what I'm looking forward to. These other big events, helping at those, growing our community. I cannot wait to see more of you, to hopefully judge some of your matches and grow. That's what this game's all about. SorceryCon was a fantastic experience, even though it was tiring, and I sacked out when I got home. Other than that, I'll talk to you all later. Keep on contesting the realm.